Hi guys, in this video we're going to be looking at how do we graph quadratics. So we were already seeing yesterday, in the other video, how if I multiply by something or add something, how the graph changes. Now we're actually going to do it mathematically. How do we graph this? So let's go ahead and start. There's a formula that we do need to know, which is this formula right here. And this is called the Vertex Formula. The Vertex Formula, to find x, the x value of the vertex, we're going to do negative b over 2a. Okay, so that's the formula we need to remember and have written down. So let's go ahead and look at example 1. In example 1, they want us to look at this and graph it. So we need to identify a. So a is 3. B is negative 2, and C is 5, but we don't need C in this case. So we're going to go ahead and find the x value of the vertex. So we're going to plug it in, negative b over 2a. So that's going to be negative b, so that's going to be negative 2, and then over 2 times a, so this is going to be 2 times 3. So a negative 2 makes that a positive 2, and a 2 times 3 is a 6. However, I can simplify 2 6 will get simplified to 1/3. So what did I just find? I have just found the x value of the vertex. So remember, in our parabola, our vertex is either this point, or if it's facing down, it's the highest point. Okay, well right now you could look at this and say, okay, what kind of graph is this? Is it going to be facing up or facing down? Remember that if the coefficient is positive, it's facing up. If the coefficient is negative, it's facing down. Right now it's positive, so I know it looks like this. So what I just found is this point down here, and it's telling me that the x value of this is 1/3. Now I need to find the y value. Well, how do I find the y value of anything? Just plug it back in, guys. So we're going to go back into our equation, which is 3x squared minus 2x plus 5 is equal to y. And I'm going to plug in, instead of x, I'm going to plug in 1/3. So I'm going to do 3 times 1/3 cubed, no, sorry, not cubed, squared minus 2 times 1/3 plus 5. So we can find our y value. So go ahead and get your calculators, guys, put that in. That would be 3 parentheses 1/3 squared minus 2 times 1/3 plus 5, and I got for the y value is 4.66666, which is actually 4 2/3. So my y value is 4 2/3. I now have my vertex. It's at 1/3, comma 4 2/3. Okay, let's see what else they wanted me to find. They wanted me to find the axis of symmetry and the vertex. Okay, so we know the vertex. Our vertex was 1/3 and 4 2/3. Now our axis of symmetry is going to be our x value. So in this case, our axis of symmetry, the formula is going to be x is equal to, what is x equal to? 1/3. So now we have it, axis of symmetry, and we have our vertex. What would that look like? Basically what we're saying, guys, is that we have, sorry, that's a bad graph. We would have like this. If this is 1, it'd be kind of around right here, 1/3, and then at 4 something, so somewhere over here would be our parabola. And if I drew a line right here, the line for this axis of symmetry would be at x equals 1/3. Okay. So now let's take a look at example 2. In example 2, we are going to use our graphing calculator. So it says a window washer is 23.7 meters above the ground when he drops his sunglasses. The function, and here's the function, gives you height in meters after t seconds. How long does it take for the sunglasses to hit the ground? So we're going to use our graphing calculator. We're going to go ahead on our graphing calculator, go to y equals, and we are going to plug in, we're going to plug in that negative 4.9. So go ahead and plug in negative 4.9 x squared plus 23.7, and then we're going to go ahead and go to graph, and you should see a graph appearing on yours. Now it shows pictures down here. So basically on your graph, mine's, I don't know if you could see that, but mine is actually kind of zoomed in. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out for my graph so I can see where the vertex is, and I'm going to just scroll and I'm going to tell it to zoom in by where the vertex is. I'm going to put zoom in, Okay, so more or less this is kind of what I have, and I know you probably can't see it, but that's what I have now. So now let's go ahead and see the x value. What is the x representing? Well, let's look back at our formula. X is representing time and y is representing height. So x is time, y is height. Okay? X is time and y is height. Okay, so it's starting at this point because that's where you dropped it, at 23.7 meters or whatever it was. And we want to know, means at that height, the sunglasses were dropped. Now the x-axis in the graph represents the level of the ground. So what do we want to see? We want to see where is this actually going to drop to the ground of a height of 0. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out, and I'm going to try and see where does this hit 0. So there's actually a way that our calculator could do this. If you notice here in the picture, it's telling you to go to calculate and then hit 0. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to zoom a little bit in so I can see where it's crossing the x-intercept. Sorry. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead and put second, and then I'm going to hit trace, which will take me to calculate, and I'm going to enter 0, like it says there, number 2, 0, and then I'm going to go, I have to get to the left of it, so I'm going to go on top first, and I'm going to hit, it says left bound question mark, I'm going to put enter. And then I'm going to scroll down to where it's now below the x-axis, and it's going to say right bound, and I'm going to put enter. It's going to say guess, I'm going to put enter again, and it's now going to give me the 0. It's just found where it crossed the x-axis, and it would look something like this, guys, on your screen. This is what I'm seeing. It's at 2.19 blah 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 blah. Okay, so what does this mean? At about 2.19 seconds or minutes, I don't know what it was, no seconds, it's going to drop to the floor. Okay, so let's take a look at example 3. In example 3, we have an equation, negative 6x squared t squared plus 80t plus 4. So there's our equation. How long will it take the ball to be at its maximum height? So basically, if it's asking for maximum height, what it's asking for is the vertex. They want to know what the vertex is. Okay, and we have a formula for that. Our formula is x equals negative b over 2a. So let's find it. Here's my a. A is negative 16 and b is 80. So let's plug it in. That would be negative 80 over 2 times negative 16. Okay, and that's going to give you negative 80 over negative 32. And if I divide that, I get 2.5. So my vertex is at 2.5. How long will it take to be at its maximum height? X, the vertex is at 2.5. So basically what I'm saying is it's going to be the highest at 2.5 because this is a negative coefficient. So it's like this. It's going facing down. So it will take about 2.5, and we're talking about seconds here. How high will it be? Well, that means find the y. So let's plug it in. Okay, so that means negative 16 times 2.5 squared plus 80 times 2.5 plus 4. Let's go ahead and multiply that. Negative 16 times 2.5 squared plus 80 times 2.5 plus 4. And I end up with 104. So what does that mean? My vertex is at 2.5 comma 104, which means at 2.5 seconds it's at 104 feet. So how high will it be? It will be at 104 feet. Okay, assuming the shortstop catches the ball at the same height at which the batter hit it, how long after the ball was hit will the shortstop catch it? So it's going to catch it at the same height at which the batter hit it. So it's starting at 4. We're trying to figure out at 4 feet. So we're going to set this whole equation equal to 4 feet. So let's do that. 4 equals negative 16 t squared plus 80t plus 4. Now, on our calculator, there's a way to do this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and enter into my calculator negative 16x squared plus 80t plus 4. I'm going to go to graph. Now instead of the graph, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to go to the table. right above graph, there's a button that says table in blue. I'm going to select the blue button, then I'm going to select the graph button. It's going to take me to the table. And I'm going to try and see where is, for what x is it equal to y. And actually, I want it to go down to 4. So I'm going to go down my table, and I see at 0 it's at 4, because that's where it starts. And if I go down, 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 down on my table, I see that at 5, it is also at 4. So at 5 seconds, it's going to go down to 4 feet. Let's see if there's any other questions they're asking us. Nope. That's it, guys.